They shine. They sparkle, they glitter. For 3/4 of a century, they've been synonymous with forever due to an iconic brand slogan.
A diamond is forever.
钻石很久远，这一句口号式的，管用了很多年。现在看来有点像说教似的，那显然没有背后的故事、数据、科学依据做支撑，说服力就不够了。
Natural diamonds appear to have lost some of their shine after suffering through perhaps one of their toughest periods. According to the Zimnisky Rough Diamond Index, prices have fallen more than 10% in just a year. Diamond transactions through the Shanghai Diamond Exchange, the only channel for import and export of rare stones on the Chinese mainland, dropped to its lowest point in a decade last year, only 2 years after hitting an all-time high. London-based diamond giant De Beers' revenue dropped 1/5 in just a year.
Only 2 years ago, the diamond market was at record highs, so these cycles tend to be very short.
Is the segment anywhere near approaching its bottom?
There's nothing in the indications forward-looking that says that this isn't the bottom, that there are further challenges ahead in the global markets.
Challenges have come from slowdowns in global economic growth.
全世界对这个疫情以后的所谓的反弹啊，可能期望值过高，行业内产生了大量的库存。现在消费是被压抑了，我们首先要把它唤醒。
Between online conspiracy theories,
最典型的说阴谋论，还有好多钻石矿都秘而不宣。戴比尔斯他们说都多少年花了10亿美金找到了一个新的钻石矿。
and the rise of lab-grown diamonds.
人工培育钻石完全就替代了天然钻石了，这个也是说的不太负责任的。
The industry seems to be in a bit of a confused state. What does that mean in terms of a timeline for recovery?
Next year will be a good year for diamonds.
For the remaining quarter, what can be done to reverse the market? And what would change?
The rest of the world looks to this market for the confidence of the retailers.
The market Kelly's referring to is China, where consumers are more interested in natural diamonds. Looking at these two diamonds, watching the light sparkle from them into different colors, it's hard to tell the natural stone from its synthetic counterpart by eye. But under ultraviolet light, everything's cleared up. The rise of lab-grown diamonds has spurred a chaos in the market, with more people debating whether they should buy a stone and worrying about its provenance.
The main difference is really the point that people want to see testing. So there was a point a few years ago where some of our existing instruments people were using maybe in the back of a retail store for checking, and now there's some that are moving them front of store or thinking about that.
De Beers in 2018 shocked the industry by launching a synthetic diamond brand. But now, 6 years later, it's announced it will stop production of its lab-grown diamonds.
The price of a lab-grown diamond now is about 5 to 10% of the price of a natural diamond. So it's a very different marketplace. Now we're starting to see the reality of what that means, that the market is settling down. Most retailers don't want to confuse the consumer by having two different products in the store.
A new balance is forming, which is essential for retailers in order for them to bring the market back on track.
This at the moment is a time when different markets are behaving differently. And so that's when, you have to really be in the market, have the attention to the market.
How would you define the current state of the Chinese natural diamond market? Is it in any way different from the rest of the world?
There are more lab-grown diamonds being sold in the US than anywhere. I think in China, not so much. Well, I know a lot of people talk about it in social media, but actually the number of people buying lab-grown diamonds in the Chinese market is still incredibly small. The Chinese consumer has always been much more interested in the provenance and where things come from and the value that they have. And that's why the Chinese consumer has always been much more inspired by authentic products than others that are made at mass and at scale.
The natural diamond market in China is relatively young. The first official diamond exchange on the mainland was established in 2000, but the market skyrocketed almost immediately. Transaction through the Shanghai Diamond Exchange rose 336 times in a decade.
我刚搞上海钻交所的时候，有机构统计，中国老百姓消费钻石的平均的克拉数是0.2克拉，很快就升到50分了。后来呢，一线城市结婚买婚戒的比率已经上升到90%以上了，那就100个人100对结婚，就有90对以上会去买钻戒，这个平均消费就差不多就有1克拉了。1克拉是消费的主流，中国消费者对钻石的品质要求更高。
高在哪里呢？怎么体现？
好比说我买一个1克拉的钻石，那么钻石你知道颜色是 D、E、F、G， 老百姓眼里就越前面这就颜色越好。那么中国老百姓说，我买 F、G、H 都觉得差一点意思啊，
所以多买 D 是吗？
多买 D， 多买 E。
With gold remaining a favorite in the country's long-standing tradition, luring consumers towards diamonds takes effort. A recent Boston Consulting Group report stated that in China, gold remains the most desirable. Natural diamond jewelry ranks third for most desired gift and fourth for self-purchase. The key is the younger generation. The future trajectory of luxury goods, including diamonds, is increasingly influenced by millennials and Gen Z. The report estimates that by 2026, they will represent approximately 3/4 of the consumers in the luxury goods market. Competition among retailers in the market is as fierce as the changes in consumers' preferences.
When something new is happening, the Chinese consumer is normally the first to find it. I always find it very inspiring. I love the blend of Chinese culture with international culture and how sometimes that blends together, and some of them are also being much more innovative with how diamonds are used in jewelry with gold, and that particularly here in China, which I've seen, and the jewelry is incredible.
In the 2023 China Diamond Yearbook issued by the Shanghai Diamond Exchange stated,
Grasping the young generation is the key to the next decade of natural diamonds.
as the world's largest online retail market for 11 consecutive years, China has its own preponderance in luring the vast young consumer group.
It's always, China is so quick to react to trends that I think that's what makes it a quite unique market in the world.
The Natural Diamond Council and the Shanghai Diamond Exchange came together in Hong Kong in September, where they announced an official strategic cooperation. The first task is experimenting with new possibilities for promoting natural diamonds online.
It is an incredibly important market, and Shanghai Diamond Exchange really represents that market both within China and to the global audience.
For luxury goods such as diamond jewelry, unlike other consumer goods, simply lowering prices is just not how the market works to boost sales. 7 decades ago, De Beers coined the tagline, "A diamond is forever," following the Great Depression. In just 3 short years, declining diamond sales were reversed, and diamond sales were up over 50%. This time, however, the market is not waiting for a similar single-line campaign that can suddenly spur the market interest.
The world has changed a lot since that tagline came out. When "A Diamond is Forever" was written, it was in the days of print advertising and TV advertising and movie theatre advertising. And so we were much more used to big advertising campaigns. Now with the advent of digital and social media platforms, it's less about those institutional campaigns. It's much more about social media and storytelling and narratives and events and cultural moments, but every day.
The market is now in a stage that requires as many participants as possible to fix the industrial chain. So the Shanghai Diamond Exchange, which originally just focused on rough material trade, has initiated new ways to extend business chains to reach out to the consumer end.
It is the first time that we've certainly partnered with any other institution around the world to specifically look at how we are represented in the social media sphere.
The exchange has got a clear picture, starting with what it calls a moment worth a carat to collect consumer stories and film into videos. The goal is to stimulate more demand for diamonds other than engagement rings, which remains as a top reason for natural diamond purchases in the country.
我们征集消费者关于钻石的一些动人的、珍贵的故事，悦己、自我价值肯定，还有亲情、 还有纪念。我们这个片子年底就要拍出来。
And as the market is so young that the exchange is now working to fill in the gaps in reselling natural diamonds.
现在因为到这个钻石业发展了几十年了，这二手市场呢开发迫在眉睫了，这是可以增加钻石的流通性，反过来刺激一级市场的发展的。所以这个是一个行业的痛点，影响了对这些钻石首饰的消费的信心。
有在做这一块。
有在做。我们刚刚注册了一个二手的平台。
China has already seen an increase in the younger generation's diamond consumption. The China Diamond Yearbook 2023 says,
Millennials contribute more to diamond market value than their share of the population.
Gen Z is well on track, with their contribution to diamond jewelry sales in China doubling from 2020 to 2022. And new shopping occasions have emerged among Gen Zs. 1/3 of the purchases are for birthdays.
For the long term, they're a great investment. Over the last 30 years, the average price of a diamond has increased by like 3% per year.